What if there were certain traits that are so seductive that if you had them, pretty much no girl could ever resist you? Now the truth is that there are a few master traits that if a guy possesses them, will allow him to pretty much choose any girl that he wants to be with. Now it's important to remember that every girl is different and the amount of attraction that a girl will feel towards these traits will vary. But there is such a thing as a few traits that, if possessed by a man, are considered to be universally attractive and universally irresistible. So with that said, let's get right into it. And when we look around the real world, we frequently see things that don't really make a lot of sense at first, but once you dig a little bit deeper, you're able to see what's really going on. It's like when you look out there and you see huge mismatches in value, such as a really young attractive girl who is with a guy who does not appear to have anywhere near the same level of value to offer. Maybe the guy is actually a celebrity and he has an enormous amount of social status. Or maybe the thing that we can't see is that he's actually a natural alpha male, but he just simply doesn't look the part. In a previous video, I talked about how different types of girls go for certain types of guys. But if you possess the traits mentioned in this video, it's kind of like having a cheat code. Now the first universally seductive trait that a man can possess is social status or ambition. Studies have shown that girls need to feel protected by the man that they are with. And a man with great social status is more likely to be able to protect her than a man with little to no social status. But what a lot of guys do not realize is that ambition can actually be just as seductive as social status, because when you show that you have great ambition or great drive, the girl that you are trying to attract will see that you will most likely have great social status one day, even if you don't have it now because of that ambition and drive. Now, social status, or being famous, is one of the most seductive traits that a man can have, and it's considered a universally attractive trait. And what this means is that, on average, most girls will find you at least a little bit attractive, and the more social status that you have, the more attractive they will find you, on average. Now, next up is the second most seductive trait that a man can have that's also universally attractive, but it's actually a set of traits. If you looked around right now, and every girl on the planet had some sort of attraction checklist, what you would find on these checklists is a list of alpha traits, because most girls find alpha traits pretty seductive to some degree. Traits like strength and dominance are the two main parts of any alpha male, and these two traits are responsible for most of the reason why alphas get to basically choose any girl that they want. Now the fortunate thing for most men is that alpha traits can actually be learned, and in fact you cannot simply be born with them. Some men are just naturally better suited at playing the role of the alpha, just like some guys will always be better at playing video games. Just because you're really good at playing video games does not mean that you cannot learn how to also be more alpha. And the third and the most seductive trait that girls find universally attractive is, you guessed it, confidence. But here's the kicker. Confidence for men is like a master key, because confidence is something every girl finds attractive, in the same way that we as men find a certain set of specific proportions attractive within a woman. Solid confidence in yourself and who you are is in fact the most seductive trait that a man can have, but it also happens to be the most elusive. A man who recognizes and who owns his flaws will always be 100 times more attractive than a man who tries to cover them up or compensate for them. If you could choose one single trait to work on that would have the greatest possible impact on how desirable girls find you, the answer without a doubt would always be confidence. But confidence is also the hardest trait to train, because it requires a huge amount of courage and throwing yourself into the ocean and basically forcing yourself to learn how to swim. Alpha male traits, social status or ambition, and pure confidence are the three most seductive, universally attractive traits that a man can possess, so the more that you work on these traits, the more universally desirable you will become. And with that said, as always, you guys are awesome, and until next time, thanks for watching.